Hi there, my name is Master Junior and I am the creator and narrator of No Budget at All. As you can tell by the logo, the name, and the stupid narrator's voice, well, I have no budget. As I'm writing this video, it is 3 o'clock in the morning, I can't sleep, and I have a total of $65.22, no job, and I'm bored. So I have decided to start this channel as a hobby. Because I have no natural talent for things like drawing, and I have no money to start a collection or something like that. I have a cheap laptop and an iPhone, and with that, I'll begin this adventure. If you have access to the internet, you might have noticed that a new Star Wars film came out last year, and people have been discussing their opinions about the film like civilized human beings. Being a gentleman and trying to keep peace in the Star Wars community as I admire the common ground between the fans around the world, I will instead speak about an even more peaceful place in the Star Wars fandom and lore. Oh man, I know. Here we go. I want you to understand where I'm coming from. My first experience with Star Wars before you judge my conclusions about the prequels. I loved them. I liked them. No, I truly loved them, and here's why. When I was a little boy on a vacation trip to Disney World in Orlando, Florida with my family, my parents rented a house for the month of July, and we invited our cousins from Florida, my aunt and uncle to stay for some days, and we were already traveling from our home country with some other relatives. So the house was packed with foreign language screaming children, a swimming pool of course, and a VHS tape of what for many years I thought was Star Wars. Well, it was actually Return of the Jedi. Now I know it was episode 6 because while the youngest members of the family were running and screaming in the house that wasn't ours, myself included being a little kid and all, every single teenager, cousin, every aunt, uncle, grandma, and adult soul was fixated in the TV screen watching one scene, the Darth Vader face reveal. Today, after many years of watching Star Wars films over and over again, I get as excited as them in those days. But back then, my reaction was the same as Luke Skywalker's. Well, not that Luke, this Luke. Today, I can't forgive myself for that attitude towards episode 6, but let me explain myself. I'm a 90s kid. The most exciting thing for me those days were the Power Rangers, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, etc. That's just sad right there. Compared to those television programs and the incredible quality of films like Toy Story and others that came near those years, watching this without context was simply boring.
Oh crap! Prepare to jump into hyperspace on my mom.
Well, I went on with my life and continued playing with the other kids in the family. The Disney trip ended, I went back to school at home, watched more Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, and suddenly, 1999 hits me in the face with this. What the hell is this? Oh my god, it's like a race! Who is that? Was that a girl? Oh, that's a sword. I think that's a sword. They're fighting now. Gonzo! Mom! Gonzo is in this movie! Oh my god, was that the devil? Was that the devil? Oh yeah, Mom, this movie has the devil on it! And they're jumping! Big explosions! Episode 1, Mom, it's called Episode 1. We need to see this movie! I was like, what the hell is this? Why do I love it so much? What is this? In a matter of days, my parents bought me Anakin toys, an Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber, the Nintendo 64 Shitty Pod Racers game, and everything Star Wars. Then, out of nowhere, one of my neighborhood and school friends is talking with me about Star Wars. He's like 2 years older than me, so he knows better. He has seen the original trilogy, and he blows my mind by telling me that the kid in episode 1 called Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader, the father of Luke Skywalker. and my young brain makes the connection immediately. And at that moment, the realization came. And now you can say I was making that face. Wait, you're telling me that my favorite character is the bad guy in those older movies? And by the way, thanks for the giant spoiler, bro. But going back to the subject, you're telling me the kid is Vader and he's Luke's father? No way! If anything, he is a younger Luke with another name. What the hell are you talking about? I was trying to make sense out of everything. The hair, the planet, the clothes. But he was right. And more important for this video's purpose is that the greatest thing for me ever, Episode 1, was part of the same story, franchise, and saga of that old movie of the Disney trip with my family. What went differently? Why was I indifferent to Episode 6 years earlier, and I loved so much what the Star Wars fans would come to know as the worst Star Wars movie ever, The Phantom Menace? Well, I can only think of two reasons. Maybe my taste in movies is terrible, or being a child is a wonderful thing, and George Lucas knew it. I was experiencing through Episode 1 what other generations experienced in the original trilogy. Something new, exciting, and groundbreaking. Well, those days are gone. Now we're in 2018 and things have changed. Episode 1 is not new anymore. I know Anakin is an evil child murderer, but still my favorite character now that I know how cool Vader is. And the latest Star Wars is Episode 8, and just like Episode 1, everyone loves it.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
Personally, I neither hate it nor love it. It was fine, it was inventive and original. However, it was somewhat disconnected from The Force Awakens. It treats Luke's character unfairly, and it deserves every criticism it gets and the love it receives as well. Now, there's one scene in particular I will never defend.
What's happening? What's happening?
But the whole reason I'm doing this video is to defend one aspect of the film that everyone is hating, Canto Bight. The music begins, the drinks, the casino, and the small characters and aliens here and there start appearing, and I am immediately transported to 1999 and the pod race scene. And when the ground starts shaking and the Father's race appears on screen, it becomes even more obvious to me. This movie is the Phantom Menace of this generation.
Good morning, Captain Obvious.
Of course, I was referring to the excitement of the movie and the similarities with the races in both films and a slave kid in both films, not the hatred. Apparently, I was right in more ways than I thought. And you know what? No matter what the rest of the fans say about this part of the movie, I must defend it for the sake of Star Wars movies' future and for the sake of the young 8 and 10-year-old kids watching their first Star Wars movie ever. Say whatever you want about what Rian Johnson did in this film or what George Lucas did with The Phantom Menace, but those small and still very important scenes and plot points are the fuel of Star Wars in my opinion. Anakin winning the race, that kid at the end of The Last Jedi with the broom, what's his name? The Harry Potter kid, whoever he is. Or Rey pulling the lightsaber on Episode 7, that is what Star Wars is about. These scenes get burned into your memory forever. And although we old cranky original trilogy fans or prequelists would have preferred something different in Episode 8, a kid was touched by the idea that he can be like that slave boy with the broom at the end of The Last Jedi. And that's why Canto Bight is important. I know episode 1 and 2 are the worst. I know A New Hope and Empire are the best, and all that criticism is important for everyone to eventually get better Star Wars movies. But for the 8-year-old kid in me, no Vader face reveal, or I am your father, or Yoda quote will ever feel like watching this scene. And that music, and the new haircut of the kid, and that smile, and R2, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I just love Star Wars, man. Everyone, thanks for watching. If you want to see more, please leave a like and share this video with your friends. Tell me your opinions. Am I crazy for defending episode 1 or episode 8 or whatever? Thanks.